Have you seen the new statue that they're erecting near the Livco pool?
No, I haven't. What about it?
Well, it's some kind of crazy modern thing. I don't know what it is, but anyway, there's this guy standing over there, and I guess he was the artist, but he was trying to tell this giant crane operator where to put it. And I guess the crane operator had an idea of his own.
So what takes you to that part of town?
I went over to talk to Ben Martin.
You did what?
Wait. And before you blow up, just let me explain.
No, wait a minute, Carla. There is no excuse. You had no right to do that.
But it was a good thing that I did.
I don't want to hear it.
I know you don't, Gene, but just listen. Ben claims that he didn't tell Vanessa Fazan a thing about your undercover story.
Good, you're up. You got an early date?
Why do you ask?
Just making conversation.
Your idea of making conversation is asking another person what he or she can do for you.
You know, Tina, there are times when I get the feeling that you just don't like me.
Only times? Slipping. I mean to give you that impression constantly.
Well, are you?
Am I what?
Are you going somewhere on this fine morning?
If I am, it's none of your business. You're wasting time, Dan.
Well, it's mine to waste.
Suit yourself. You only have 2 minutes.
Well, thank you very much. I'm so glad to see that your sense of sportsmanship is as finely tuned as ever.
I'm surprised you can recognize that when you see it.
What's that?
Good sportsmanship.
Well, I do, yeah. That's why I'm so surprised to see it missing in some other areas of your life.
Like?
Like your best friend. Just what are you trying to do to Courtney?
I don't understand.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Play innocent with me. Come on.
I don't have to play anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, Tina. We'll play it your way then. What I'm talking about is you interfering in areas that don't concern you. I'm talking about the running commentary that you've been giving Courtney about me, or should I call it the running character assassination?
Dan, I didn't know you had any character to assassinate.
Look, Tina, what's gone on or hasn't gone on between Courtney and me is none of your business. You better stay out of it.
You afraid I'm gonna let her in on your little bag of tricks? Well, don't worry, Dan. Her disappointment is not going to come from me. You see, and please, take this in the spirit in which it was given. You're about as original as summer reruns.
And are you just a little jealous there, Tina?
Hardly.
It looks to me like maybe you are.
Well, then I think you better have your eyes checked. Oh, my goodness, how time flies when you're having fun. I'm afraid that you have just enough time to bid me a fond farewell.
Tina, I am serious.
I know, and that's what makes this whole thing so screamingly funny. Bye, Dan.
What do you know about Gene Redlin?
Enough. I know that he's a reporter and that he likes to dabble in sensationalism.
What else do you know about Vanessa? What else do you know about what's going on around here?
Hey, come on! What is this, 20 questions?
You know, I have this image of you, Brian. It's like a doctor right before surgery.
Ooh, Oh, that's appropriate.
You keep washing and scrubbing your hands over and over and over. You know, it seems you're always clearing yourself of something. You keep insisting you're on the outside of things.
That's because I always am.
No, I don't think so. Brian, is something criminal going on here?
Terry's there? Well, what did she say? I don't blame her. Look, Dad, I've got to write this up right away. Thanks, Dad. You know your name should go on this byline as well. Bye.
Collaborating with your father again? Make sure you get his name up to payroll.
Sit down, Walter. You are going to love this. My father has discovered that Wainwright has a few things up his sleeves. Now, we know that the sports wing at the hospital is being built to attract a professional sports franchise to Kingsley, a football team.
Yes, and frankly, Stacy, I think it's going to be a welcome diversion.
But the reason for the sports franchise is to generate profit for those who would benefit from big-time sports being in Kingsley.
Well, let me guess. Those who would benefit most just happen to be the same people who are supporting Wainwright financially.
Is this man a journalist, or is this man a journalist?
Yes, but do you have any evidence that the securing of this wing for the hospital was a trade-off for financial support?
No. But it sure looks that way.
Yes, I agree it looks that way, but we got to have evidence. Now, you write this one very carefully. Stick with the facts. Let the readers draw their own conclusions.
Just wish I could use some of the other things that my father told me.
Oh? Like what?
Like Wainwright's bigotry and sarcasm. He really tore into the poor. He said that they deserved their status. He also says he's sick of giving them handouts.
Does that include the Rape Crisis Center? Huh. What do you know? Kingsley's champion of the poor. Good work, Stacy.
Well, surprise, surprise. And
Well.
what brings you into this neck of the woods?
What if I told you that I felt guilty and negligent and cold-hearted because I haven't seen my little sister in a while? Would you believe me if I told you that?
Who, you? The one who missed Aunt Luella's Thanksgiving dinner because he had to check out some escape con from Detroit?
Oh, come on. You're not all still sore about that, are you?
There are two things I get emotional about. Lady and the Tramp when they eat the spaghetti, and Aunt Luella's family get-togethers.
Not the impression I had the last time I was here.
Oh?
What about your relationship with this mystery man?
Why all the concern about my love life?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting soft in my old age. What's the status on that, anyway?
Well, I haven't forgotten about him.
Sounds pretty serious to me.
Yeah, guess it is.
Is there anything this guilt-ridden, negligent, cold-hearted brother can do?
Probably not. Hey, I read about the big drug bust you made the other night. Pretty exciting.
Tina, does this guy have anything to do with the testimony you're going to give in court today?
You had no business talking to Ben. What did you hope to accomplish?
I was trying to get to the bottom of this. Now, I know you don't want to hear this, Gene, but I didn't buy that notion that Ben would do something to hurt you.
Yeah, I didn't either, but apparently I was wrong.
But you're supposed to be a reporter. You're supposed to get all the facts, not just sit and sulk about the big one that got away. It's so easy to blame someone else.
I don't want to talk about it.
I said stop sulking and listen. Ben said he didn't tell Vanessa a thing about you being a reporter.
Of course he'd say that. What did you expect him to say?
I expected excuses, but he didn't give me any. I'm telling you, Gene, he was shocked. He couldn't believe that Vanessa knew. Gene, the man did not expose your cover. If anything, he went out of his way to protect you.
Carla, why don't I believe you?
Because you don't have an easy out. Did it ever occur to you that someone else could have tipped her off?
Yes, Carla, it occurred to me that someone else maybe did it, but no one comes to mind right now.
Well, you can count Ben out. I mean, for the reaction he gave me, it wouldn't surprise me if he ran right over to Vanessa and demanded an explanation. And you know that woman is capable of anything. You don't know who she has under her wing or how she gets her information.
I suppose she's paying someone off down at the Chronicle to do her stuff, huh?
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Oh, come on. Don't be ridiculous. There are only 3 or 4 people that know about me, and they're all on the up and up.
Oh, no.
What?
Nancy Lawson.
Nancy. Yeah, Nancy would do anything for that Vanessa Vazan. But I don't know how she could have found out because I didn't say anything to her.
Hello,
And you...
everyone. Is coffee on? Well, what are you two staring at?
Ma, you didn't by any chance tell anyone that I was investigating Domi, did you?
What are you talking about, Jean?
What Jean means is, Mom, do you think he could have let it slip to Nancy that he was doing the story?
Oh, for goodness sakes, Jean, really?
Ma, I think that's the only way that she could have found out.
How did you find out about my involvement with this hearing?
Let's just say I know about it.
Don't give me that. I'm not a kid anymore, John. I've got a right to know.
All right, it was Harold Webster.
Well, how much did he tell you? Did he pull out a tape and play our conversation for you?
Look, Tina, I'm your brother. I had to practically force him to tell me.
No! He had no right to do that. It's a violation of trust.
Yes, it is. And I'm glad he did it. You got to let people help you sometimes, Tina. Especially your family. He was concerned about you. He knew about your game plan. He didn't want you to drag it into the courtroom.
I can't wait to thank him.
The man was trying to do his job the best way he knew how. He didn't want to see you get hurt, and neither do I.
Nothing's like you think it is, John.
Hey. It's all right. That's why I'm here.
I'm not playing a courtroom game. This isn't a game anymore. The stakes are too high.
I think the people of Kingsley have a right to know about their so-called public servants. I mean, both Wainwright and Lee Carruthers think that compromise is just another campaign tool. Of course, being a fine journalist, I'm sure Stacy will exercise restraint.
I'm sure Hugh Wainwright feels that his plan for Kingsley would be better in the long run.
I don't. I think he knows very well that his plan will benefit only him. I mean, the welfare of Kingsley's citizens is not at the top of his list. He's still posing as champion, though, of the poor and the depressed. He knows he has to keep the minorities in his back pocket. Oh, I don't know. You should have heard the way he was talking about these people he represents. The poor deserve to be poor.
Hey, let's leave politics to the politicians. We've got a wedding to plan.
I'm sorry. It just makes me angry. It's also hypocritical.
You know something? You're beginning to sound a little bit like Scott. He was always caught up fighting injustice.
Well, don't you think the people we elect should try to make this world a better place?
Well, of course I do. But sometimes I just want that world out there to leave us all alone for a while. I just want to enjoy our world. Dave, you've got to promise me something before we get married.
Something criminal? I think the whole idea of Domi is criminal. Telling a bunch of maladjusted losers a little self-control can win them a place at the top.
Now, that is not what I'm talking about, and you know it.
Then why don't you fill me in?
Come on, Brian, don't play naive with me. There is something going on around here.
Come on, Ben. I know that going through a malpractice suit can make a doctor unusually suspicious,
That
but...
is not the reason why I am suspicious. You're the reason I'm suspicious. Now, I don't think you would have warned me about Vanessa unless you were somehow personally threatened.
Do you think I warned you for purely selfish reasons?
You tell me.
Hey, I don't need this kind of abuse. Why don't you go ask your reporter friend? I mean, maybe he'll give you the latest scoop.
Now, Brian, maybe we should fill Ben in. I think his questions are valid.
Stupid. My brother, John Brubaker, Detective Sergeant John Brubaker of the Kingsley Police, is in this room.
Yeah, right. Clever, Tina, but not clever enough.
You pull that trigger and we're both going to be in a lot of trouble. Now, put it down.
I will, as soon as I'm through.
Tina, everything all right?
Yeah, everything's fine. John, this is Bernie. He's a friend of mine. Just stopped by. He's in my accounting class. We were going to do some studying together.
Oh.
You know, 2 heads are better than 1.
Yeah, well, with the grades that you had last semester, you can use all the help you can get.
You're right, she does need all the help she can get. Especially now that the public rule's been lifted.
Public rule, I don't follow that.
Oh, it's nothing.
The
It's
public
this little...
rule's been lifted and we're in the final phase. Well, I can see you're busy. I'll be back later.
Yeah, why don't you come back later? Like later on in the week, maybe?
Count on it.
Yeah, sure.
Well, you can see that guy really likes to hit the books.
Yeah. Leave me alone.
What's going on?
Phone Sumner. No comments, okay? I said okay.
All right.
Sorry about that.
What was that all about?
Thought you were somebody else. Come on in. Vaughn, you know my brother John, right?
Yeah,
John,
sure.
Vaughn Sumner.
What's wrong?
I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm glad this whole thing with Hugh Wainwright came up.
Why?
Dave, I just want our home to be a retreat. You know, a place where causes aren't the main course at dinner. A place where nothing gets in the way of our loving each other.
Do you really think it will?
Well, I know that it can happen. I guess what you're seeing are some of the survival instincts I developed during my marriage to Scott. Now, I'm not making any comparisons. I know our marriage is going to be different. But I would be less than honest if I didn't admit that sometimes Scott's zeal for righting wrongs competed with our marriage. I just don't want to be in competition with you over anything.
Well, of course not. Neither do I.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that the battles that you're out there fighting, I just want them to be kept within reason. And when we come home, we concentrate on us.
Oh, did this really come between you and Scott?
No, not really. We were too much in love to have anything really come between us. But it was always there, though. But it seemed like we were always waiting to get together after the next story, the next report, the next scandal. And then suddenly, on New Year's Eve, there was no time left. We'd invested so much in tomorrow, and suddenly, tomorrow wasn't there. You know, after Scott died, I read a scripture. Don't think about tomorrow. And I suddenly realized what that means. Dave, I don't want us to worry about the future. I just want us to enjoy each day for what it has for us.
I don't know what you two are talking about.
Brian, I think we ought to get this out in the open if we disagree.
Get what out in the open? The only thing that I disagree with are Ben's accusations.
I'm not accusing you of anything, Brian. I just want to get the full story.
Sorry, pal. I have already told you everything I know.
Well then, looks like he's left it up to you, Vanessa.
Brian never was very good at handling his emotions.
It's not Brian's emotions I'm worried about. I need some answers. How did you find out about Gene Redlin? And why did you blame me for exposing him?
I guess I had better be going. I will talk to you later.
Sure.
So, you almost ready to go to the courthouse?
I think so.
Well, we don't have anything to worry about. I just spoke with Harold Webster, and he said things with Courtney went as well as he could possibly expect. And he did bring up the affair with Peter Davidson.
Oh, I bet that really got her squirming.
Yeah, and your testimony should be the topper.
Wish I had your confidence.
Hey, come on, we don't have anything to worry about now.
I keep telling myself that. Would you hold me? Just for a minute?
Hey, come on. I really appreciate you doing this for me.
For you and for me, Vaughn. What I'm going to do today is for both of us. I hope you'll be able to understand that.